had to do it. Just watch the documentary, y'all. This is Fitz Grizzly. Welcome back to another episode of the Fitz Grizzly Experience. Today we're gonna chop it up about the documentary for Biggie Smalls. I got a story to tell that just came out. When I first heard about this documentary coming out, I kind of was scratching my head like, do we need another one? I watched it. I enjoyed it because, I'm a hip-hop head. I love music. I love Biggie. Love everything he did and things of that nature. Of course, it was cut short by his untimely demise. However, what I liked about this documentary is that it kind of dug in more deep with Miss Wallace, his uncle that he used to visit in Jamaica because he's Jamaican. And they even showed Biggie's grandma about what she felt and heard about her grandson being murdered. That was different and of course sad to see, but overall you already know, if you're a hip-hop head, you already know everything about him. Just want to talk my shit saying it was cool. Did I really feel like it was necessary? Not exactly. I kind of feel like they wanted to put that shit out, of course, keep his name still relevant in the world of hip-hop and everything, even though he's been gone since 1997. I really feel like they probably did that because he's being inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year. I believe he's like a contender, or if he is, I believe he's gonna be inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year, and I have a feeling it was just something to do with that. Of course, Lil C's was there, Junior Mafia, of course, old footage. It was great to see that shit because I was real young. I remember me and my dudes back in the 90s when that Biggie shit was out. I mean, Sam Goody was in University Mall, and me and my dudes, man, we stole that shit. We stole Life After Death, and I kid you not, everybody was dubbing tapes. And, keep in mind, we were like 13, 14 years old, you know what I'm saying? So we went up with Sam Goody, and me and my homeboys, and a couple of them, they stole that shit. And then they stole it, they made us a dub, and we were jamming that shit for the rest of the year, man. Like, it was hard. It wasn't like how it is now. You could just go to Spotify, iTunes, digital streaming platforms, and actually check any type of music you want, any kind of music. No, we actually had to know someone who either had it, or we go to Rocket Rod in Sulphur Springs, or you actually bought it. And niggas wasn't buying CDs because we wasn't working. I mean, of course, when I got older, I started buying CDs and shit like that. But overall, yeah, we had to find a way to get it. And I remember Life After Death very vividly. And What's Beef was one of my favorite songs on that album. Remember, I'm 13 years old. Listen to this shit. I was 13 in 1997. Listen to this shit oh my god, very mature, real grown up. But I love that shit. It really defined the 1997 summer for me. I mean, of course, a lot of music I was listening to back then, but we're gonna stay on topic with Biggie doing his thing. But yeah, as far as that documentary goes, I feel like it was totally unnecessary, but it was still good. You kind of already know the ends of the story. Of course, Diddy's there. I was hoping to see maybe if his daughter was gonna speak, but maybe she wasn't gonna be with that shit because she's normally pretty private. Of course, Miss Wallace was in there. D-Rock had a lot of time on there. Lil Kim didn't say nothing. Lil C's was on there, or whatnot. Mr. C, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Chic, some of those Junior Mafia dudes. And another thing that I actually liked about this documentary, even though I feel like it was unnecessary, if y'all know that track Missing You with 112 on the Life After Death album, and when in the beginning of the song he's like, man, damn, I love that nigga. Oh man, he was telling me once you get on, we don't gotta do this shit, and he got moped out. Basically, they went into that story, which was cool because we didn't really know. We of course listened to Biggie's music. You knew that he was his homeboy, and it sounded like he probably got murdered, and it was on some street shit. But overall, it was nice to see that. I'm really just saying that I liked parts of the documentary. I got a story to tell for the late great Biggie Smalls. However, I did not feel like it was necessary. Did I enjoy watching it? Yes, because I'm a hip hop head. But before I watched it, I was just like, and when I heard about it, I was like, damn, we finna have another one? I mean, do we really need another Biggie documentary though? Like, you know, you already kind of know what it is. You're gonna talk about his upbringing and, you know, Brooklyn and him hustling and, you know, him being a young father, dropping out of school, doing what he does. And then, of course, you know, as he starts with the stardom, with Bad Boy and Diddy getting fired from Andre Harrell. I mean, we saw that shit in the Notorious movie. And then, of course, the inevitable talk of the beef with Tupac. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. So we kind of, for those who love hip hop like me, you knew exactly what to expect. I really just liked the documentary because of the things I did not expect. I did not expect to hear about him going to Jamaica all the time and linking up with his uncle. You know what I mean? That was dope. Oh yeah, for those of y'all who haven't seen this documentary, I'm sure it's late for me to say this shit now, but fuck it. Spoilers. Alright, spoiler alert. It is what it is. This is a Fitz Grizzly experience. I talk my shit. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? This show ain't gonna be too long. Like I said, this is just a reaction for the Biggie documentary. If you're a hip hop head, check that shit out. Maybe you'll enjoy that shit. Maybe you'll hate it. But like to me, that shit was unnecessary. It was cool, but could have done without it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, it took this long to actually induct him in the hall. You know, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It took this long. It's like, really? I mean, Tupac just got inducted a couple years ago, too. You ought to be ashamed of this shit. You wanna know why? Because Biggie and Tupac shaped all this shit, man. Their influences in everybody's music. Whether motherfuckers wanna admit that shit or not. You know what I'm saying? They should have been did that shit, man. Straight up. But yeah, that's what it is, man. And, shit. Don't get me wrong. Like, I was trying to work out watching that shit, man. And, you know, after I jogged a little bit on my little treadmill over here, you know, I just sat back and watched it. I was like, hey, man, it's cool. You know what I mean? So, that's what it is. But, yo, this is just going to be some light work today. You know what I mean? Y'all fuck with me on all streaming platforms. You know, I got a podcast now because at first I just was doing YouTube videos and things of that nature. However, I'm probably going to put something together for this episode on YouTube with some cool visuals, and then just listen to me. Fuck with me. Of course, I try to be consistent with my episodes on a weekly basis. I don't necessarily always have like a date or a day because I'm a very busy man. You dig? But either way, peace and love, and thank you for listening to the Fitz Grizzly experience. Alright? Take care.